Hey guys, this is HGhaleon. Just getting back to you from my recent expedition with Arc Revo. My first time ever going to one of these conventions, tournaments. It was actually a really fun experience. I was very surprised at how the community was really cool, really down to earth, very collective. Everybody seemed to be enjoying themselves, having a good time. There was, a lot of communication going between people, trying out the new Guilty Gear demo, participating in activities. It was really fun. I was just really shocked how I had such a pleasant experience. Granted, some stuff didn't flow too well, like how they handled certain things, like the autograph signing was done pretty bad. But I'm not here to talk about that. What we're here to talk about is the Guilty Gear demo. So I did play it about 6 times. Got a pretty decent amount of experience with it. It's definitely very different. It wasn't exactly what I was expecting. I'm not exactly I say it's bad, but I can't say it's great. It's kind of a mixed bag. It's interesting. I want to play more to see what the game has to offer because I do feel that there's more to this game than what meets the eye, so to speak. Based on all the little things that I've tried with it, I only tried really 2 characters. I usually use May and Potemkin, since those are the only characters I care about on the roster so far. That obviously is going to change as the final roster comes into effect. But I also did play Soul once, but I'm not really big on Soul, so I focused more on Potemkin and May for the most part. But as far as like how the game feels, it's very responsive. I can't sit there and say my moves didn't come out or nothing. Everything feels smooth, fluid. It is a little slower than Revelator. Just a tad. I wouldn't say it's a huge amount slower, but it does definitely feels like the pacing has changed a lot because it does feel more like a Street Fighter game. I noticed just the way things hit, the way everything is constantly resetting to neutral. Seems like everything that hits is pretty much a knockback. Like an ender, for example, pretty much knocks you back, resets you to neutral. Air combos knock you down. There's really not really that many air combos per se, aside the dust, which only works on counter hit, which I think is a bit weird. Never understood the change in that, but they said that the dust comes out faster, which I do notice it does. But if you just do a normal hit dust, it just seems to reset neutral. Seems to be the theme of the game, a lot of resetting neutral. Knockdown, reset neutral. Combo, reset neutral. Wall stick to wall break into neutral. Just seems like there's a lot of the neutral game. So, not too much Oki from what I've seen, aside a sweep. A sweep seems to be the only real true Oki at the moment. I'm assuming there's going to be more down the road as far as other moves leading into Oki situations based on what was said from Arc System Works. So hopefully there's more to the Oki game rather than just a sweep, because that will be rather limited. As far as like the way things hit, obviously the Gatling combos have been drastically changed since there's no more linking from light attacks. Pretty much it's medium into heavy for these standard strings, and it seems to only work from a standing or ducking medium into a standing heavy or ducking heavy. I tried doing like medium, standing medium to ducking medium. That didn't seem to work with Potemkin. It didn't. I think it worked with May. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But it seems that punch and kick can only lead into command normals. So, for example, if you do Potemkin, you do low kick, you can do low sweep, low dust. That does work. But you can't do low kick into low medium. That doesn't work. May, same thing. Low kick into low sweep. Or you can do standing medium punch into forward punch. Most hits that hit in the air seem to immediately slam the opponent down really fast. So when you knock someone up, it seems like it's not a good idea to use moves in the air, other than jabs, because jabs just seem to be the only multi-hit move in the air where you can keep hitting them repeatedly. But from what I noticed, if you do a counter hit on any opponent and launch them, it's best to do a knock-up attack and then do an ender of some sort, or some sort of a hard combo. And then if you approach the wall, you definitely want to keep using a quick attack into a wall type stick move. And usually it tends to be a repeat of that. You want to do, for example, with Kai, for example, it's down kick and forward hard slash that does wall stick, and you can do that multiple times. Soul is ducking fierce, does a launcher, and you do gun flame. Or you can do repeated Fafners, which seems to be the bread and butter. With wall stick on him, I think you can do like 5 or 6 Fafners or more. It gets pretty ridiculous with the damage too. I wasn't able to experiment enough to like the Roman cancel system, but it seems that with any hit confirm, it's best to always Roman cancel to extend the combo, especially with counter hits, to give yourself like time to follow up, because the counter hit itself, unless you have a really quick move to follow up afterwards, just seems to not do much. From what the counter hit seems to do, it seems to like indicate you, okay, here's a good time to do your Roman cancel. So that's from what I noticed. As far as other mechanics, instant guard, I didn't seem to have to need to use it much, even though it does gain meter, which is nice. I don't like the fact that it doesn't mitigate damage, which I think is a little silly. So, I would like to mitigate chip, but you can't unless you use barrier block. But since everything is pretty much normal blockable, those tools just don't feel as useful in my opinion, from what I noticed. I still think damage mitigation from instant blocking should be in effect. I think you should also get frame advantage, which is also another thing that they took out. So the only purpose to instant block is literally just to get yourself super. There's no other reason to do it. Shield blocking, like I said, the only benefit is to lower your risk gauge, from what I was told. I didn't really use it at all, but that's what it seems to be used for now. And again, to mitigate specific moves from chip. I did find out that throws do Roman cancel, so you can do throws into Roman cancel games. I was able to do Potemkin Buster and then Roman cancel, and ducking hard slash into heat knuckle. That does work. Let's see what else here. I'm trying to think of any other moves that seem to respond weird. I know that the hidden Roman cancel mechanic, I guess certain moves when you use them in the Roman cancel, that you start like sliding on the ground. Like for example, you do Hammerfall and you do Roman cancel middle of it, you'll kind of like slide through. I guess you can maybe use it as to go to evade attacks, maybe, or to like maybe use it as a way to like bypass. Maybe it is used as super armor to bypass a move. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it does look like there might be some hidden potential with that particular move. Not enough to really go on, so again, this is just from what I've seen. I wasn't able to test it enough, because me and my friend were playing for the most part, and we were just kind of just doing the move and seeing how things hit. But yeah, a lot of stuff in the air seems to not work anymore. Air game seems to be very minimal, which I don't like. So it seems like the grounded approach is what they want you to do. They don't really want you to focus on air combat at all. So I did notice also the camera seems to be zoomed in more so than normal. So maybe that's kind of an indication that they want you to fight more on the ground rather than the air. But it definitely does have a more of a footsie game with Street Fighter, because I noticed like getting that counter hit from a footsie game into a combo seems to be the goal here. That seems to where your big damage comes into effect. But as far as anything else, the characters feel pretty good. May felt really amazing. I really liked May a lot. May was really fun to use. I really enjoyed her. Potemkin feels mostly the same, aside his new unblockable move. As far as everything else, though, I didn't play any of the characters, so I couldn't say much. But I think the whole Oki game is going to be a lot different, and I think they need to tweak it, so because a lot of characters I think are going to get affected by this, especially like characters like Melia, who are based on a lot of Oki, and I figure if you take that away from them, which is something the character needs to be effective, I don't know how they're going to work in this system. So, and even though we haven't had any confirmation of Melia yet, even though I'm pretty damn sure she's going to be the next character after Foss, I'm betting on it really hard. We won't find out until January, though. And then February, supposedly, we're supposed to get another demo. Will be for the closed beta. So I'm hoping we get more. We can figure out, hopefully get some more characters in there, and hopefully some more gameplay elements get added. Some stuff gets tweaked. But I can't say I hate it. But at the same time, I can't sit there and say I love it. I definitely want to explore it, but I do hope that there's more to it than meets the eye, because if what I've seen is like pretty much all you can do, the game is going to be pretty boring. The ceiling cap is going to be really fast. People are going to figure out stuff really quickly, and the game's going to be pretty much one and done. I hope it's not that, though. I hope there's more to it. But everything overall, just, again, it's an experiment. I understand they want to try something different, which I'm all for that. I'm all for progression. But at the same time, I don't want the game being stripped of its identity. Teresa said the same thing recently, the best jam in the world. He said that he feels that the game is going to be taking a step back, where creative identity feels like it might be gutted and simplified, so you really can't do too much. I hope that's not the case, though. Like I said, I hope Daisuke takes the feedback to heart, because we really need to tell him, like, hey, Daisuke, please don't screw this up. We don't want to see Guilty Gear just become a shell of its former self and just sell out. I really don't want it to become Street Fighter. That's not... I play Guilty Gear because it's a good game. I don't play it because I want another Street Fighter, which seems to be the case with current fighters nowadays. Everything tries to be Street Fighter, and I really hate that with a passion. I really wish games would stop doing that so much. So it's just, if I want to play Street Fighter, I'll play Street Fighter, which I don't like the game, and I stopped liking it a long time ago. To me, it's just, I don't want a basic fighter. I want a complex, deep fighter like Guilty Gear has always been, and I want the ceiling to keep being raised for the game, not to be lowered. So I'm hoping Daisuke takes that into account, that his loyal fans do want a deep fighter that's going to last for many years. You know, I want something that I fell in love with. I fell in love with X, was my first, well, technically Guilty Gear 1. I played Guilty Gear 1, but Guilty Gear X is when I truly started to love Guilty Gear. And it literally changed my perspective on fighting games. It brought me into a whole new light, and finding that love was just amazing. And I want to fall in love again. I really do. I'm hoping this game will give me that love that I seek, because Exerd was awesome. I really liked Exerd. I know a lot of the fans of Accent Core Plus don't like Exerd. I actually liked it a lot. I didn't feel that the identity was compromised very much. Yeah, it was toned down a little bit, but I don't feel that the game was a shell of its former self. I just hope this game does not do that. So, but don't really have much else to add. I do want to play more, though. I just hope it's there's more to it than what we're seeing here. So, as far as everything, I will say one thing, though: the music and the graphics are absolutely fucking incredible. My God, like, the game is so pretty. Watching videos online and watching in real life, it's not even the same. It doesn't even do it justice. It's so pretty. One thing I did notice though, from observation at the tournament, was all the games were running on PS4 Pros. So I'm not sure if that's any indication that the game is only going to run at 60 frames per second on a PS4 Pro. I hope to God not. I hope it's not one of those things where I have to purchase a Pro just to get the real experience. I'm hoping that's just if you want to run it at 4K. You know, if I'm running at 1080p using a normal PlayStation, I still want to get the 60 frames per second. Hoping they optimize it, because not really I won't be particularly thrilled having to spend $300 just so I can play one game smooth. So since we have no word on a PC release, I'm hoping that it is coming to PC though. Hopefully, for now it's only for PS4 late 2020, which I'm glad they did delay it a little bit. If it needs to be delayed further, I'm all for being till 2021. If they're going to add more characters, fix things, make the game just gorgeous, I want it to be beautiful out of the box. Just a complete, awesome game that I'm going to play for months. But hopefully this gave everybody a little bit of more assurance that, again, let's try to think positive. I really don't. I'd rather be wrong, and Daisuke proves me wrong. I don't want to be right and say the game sucks. I really don't. I'm hoping he pulls something out of his ass where it's like, oh shit, this is amazing. So I'm hoping that's what we're going to expect. I'm pretty sure the fans want to be proven wrong and saying, hey, this is going to be a great game. So I love Daisuke with all my heart. He's my favorite video game developer. And I want to see this game succeed. But at the same time, I don't want its integrity to be compromised. Because for someone like me who creative expression is really important in fighting games, I think this is one game where you can really express yourself the way you want to play. And we need to keep that. Because the minute we compromise that and the game sells out and becomes like every other fighting game, because we have to dumb it down for the casuals or the people that think everything is too hard, I don't think that's the way to approach this game. So there's a reason why we like Guilty Gear. And it does have style, but it also has substance. So, anywho, thanks for watching, guys. Look forward to my channel. I'll be hopefully getting more Guilty Gear content as soon as I'm able to. Definitely when the beta comes out, I will be streaming it live, day one. And whatever days that it's available, I will be streaming it, so look forward to my channel. But you guys have a good one. Take care, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.